Had a busy week.
It's been a busy week. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Sharon. Good to see you again.
Oh, great to see you. I'm super excited about today's talk because we're talking about how you get into these careers starting at $25 to $100 an hour.
And this is actually a career path that a lot of people probably think is unattainable to them, right? But they're going to soon see that this is a budding industry in terms of what our guest is going to talk about. The
Yeah,
training is fairly new to the area. So, yeah, just buckle up and get ready for some great information here.
man, I'm super excited. So let's just bring into the studio Christopher Williams of AINautics. How are you, Christopher?
Oh, Sharon, I'm doing awesome. Thank you. And Chris, good afternoon, sir. How's everybody?
Good to see you again. Doing well.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
We are great. Christopher, I got to say, because I got to keep y'all straight. Christopher, you have this great sort of scenario set up with AI Nautics. Please tell us all about it, how you get started, and what the mission is.
Yeah, so Sharon, I appreciate that. So just a little bit about AINautics. We are about a 6-year young company. We started out as a service provider in the drone industry, which I call UAV, UAS, unmanned aerial vehicles or unmanned aerial systems. We started out providing services around the drone industry, really just kind of going out doing governmental work, contractual work, so forth. In 2016, we saw there was going to be a paradigm shift in looking at who's going to support drone industry and where is it going. And so the FAA changed the laws and regulation and allowed persons 16 years of age and older to become FAA 107 Part A pilots. And so understanding that as an opportunity, and then looking at it from a business aspect of it and trying to create a niche opportunity, we decided to launch our AINautics training services and partner with school, private education, K-12 settings, public continue ed, and then also private sectors. And we launched our training program about 5 years ago. And so hence we're here today, continuing to deliver that and scale that across the board. And so we just transitioned the model to support what we call smart jobs. And really that's what we're talking about now. Smart jobs powered by autonomous devices.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, no, smart jobs. I like the way you frame that because I know that the world of work is changing and automation is definitely here and here to stay and grow. So tell us a little, Christopher, about your about the certification classes. If you can just maybe talk a little bit about what those look like.
Yeah.
May I interrupt before we do that because we're teasing people about this thing, but we haven't said what it is. So
Okay.
let's just say what it is and then get into the training classes because someone wants to, they're already in the comments like, is it remote? What's the details? So I
Oh wow,
apologize.
a lot of activity. Yeah.
That's great. And I'm glad that folks out there are very enthusiastic and interested in the program. So basically what we're doing are training persons to become FAA 107 Part A certified. What does that mean? That means you are able to fly a commercial autonomous device, which is called a drone, for employment or financial gain. And meaning that you can go out and, like we see at the bottom, and earn upwards of $25 to $100 per hour, either in a contractual opportunity as a small business owner or from an employment agency by taking those type of aerial shots, mapping, surveying, inspections, real estate, photography, so forth. And so our program gives you the foundational base to be trained for the autonomous device industry. A lot of people call it UAS or UAV. When you start getting into the commercial setting, that's what it's associated to, because really when you look at it, it's a device that's similar to a robot, is manned by someone on another end using some type of software application.
That is so that I'm clear here, right? And so everyone breaks it down and brings it real where the goats can get it. It's a drone, the same thing that people are sort of playing with for fun, right? I saw someone doing it in my community, just having fun with it, just seeing it go up and down. But people can actually get trained in it, be FAA certified in it, and go out and get real dollars for that service.
That is correct. And you said the most important thing, Sharon. most people identify as a toy. That's from the hobbyist standpoint. And so years ago, this is why really the industry is expanding, because it's transitioning from a hobbyist to a professional standpoint. And so it's basically, we're showing persons how to take a toy and make a living out of a toy. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You know, so I know the question is gonna, people are probably already, we see the activity in the chat, but people are gonna say, okay, how do I get started with this? You know, what do I need? What are the qualifications I need? Do I need to have a degree? Do I need to have, so if you can maybe talk, Christopher, about, you know, what a person needs to get started, education level, just some of the things that are needed to actually start in something like this with your company.
Yeah. So Chris, great statement. So the first most important thing that I always say is willingness to learn and be ready for cutting edge technology and innovation. That's most important. That's just a traditional set. As far as any type of academic and educational background, you don't need a traditional college degree. You don't need a 2-year degree. You don't need a high school diploma. You basically need to have at least a 9th grade reading level of academics from math and reading, and then also be at least 16 years of age, have a government ID, and then at least if had no type of record within the last year of when you taken the examination. That's a record, criminal record. Besides that, anyone can take the class. We have persons in our program that have doctor's degrees, bachelor's degree, just basically just coming out, transitioning it as a second career opportunity. Like I stated before, we're one of the top providers in I would say the Southeast that are certifying young persons 16 to 18. In our population right now, we probably have about 30 to 40% of our certified pilots are between the ages of 16 to 18, which is a phenomenal number when we're talking about opportunities that will be transitioning as the industry continues to evolve. Now, on our adult side, we're still blossoming on the adult side. Most of the adults that come into our program are professionals like yourself, Chris and Sharon, who are seeing this as a vertical in their organization or as a external opportunity to either do a side business, side hustle, however you want to call it.
Thank you, Christopher. Let's just come on. Let's just be honest.
Right.
It's a great opportunity for the side hustle. Everyone needs to make a little extra cash.
Yes,
it is a great opportunity. The way to do it.
It is a great opportunity, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to get started from the materials to do this. Most people think I need a $5,000 drone to do this type of work. You do not need a drone of that cost, of that magnitude. You can go get a drone for under $500 with a great camera and open source software and do the work.
I mean, so let's just talk about, because you've talked about someone can become an entrepreneur, which is great. Oh, there's someone asked in the comments, where is the training held?
So like everybody else, when COVID hit, we had to adapt and adjust. So we developed a vertical model that's hybrid, virtual, as well as face-to-face. So you can take the training in a virtual setting. You can go onto our website, and once you sign up and register, we offer virtual classes ongoing. Or you can take the training with one of our approved providers. For example, in Livian, we are actually going to be providing the partnership training with you guys. Or you can do it in a hybrid setting, either in one of our corporate locations or our satellite offices, and then do the virtual side aspects of it. The most important thing that I want to kind of present in terms of the training, the FAA 107 Part A is just the license to do the work commercially, where you can actually be paid for the work and you're not going to get into any type of legal issues. The training for flying a drone, of course, that is something where we offer, but that's more of a face-to-face opportunity.
You know, and I think, Sharon, it's important for me to note, and I'm glad that we're talking about people really wanting to get engaged with this. There's a lot of excitement. I can tell this is already generating. Is that if you're an Livian resident, right, the one thing you want to do is make sure you're connecting with us, right? So if you're not an Livian resident listening to this, the main thing you want to do is connect with Christopher Williams. So I would just say to keep it simple for those that are really wanting to dive deep into how can I do this? What does it take? When is there going to be a pilot program and things of that nature? Is to make sure you get your pen and your paper out and make sure you get Chris's name and his number and his email information, because that's going to be really, really important. This is a very individualized type of connection that we're making here. But we want to make sure that people get the right information, because some information may pertain to our Livian residents and some may pertain to those that are not Livian residents, which is absolutely fine. Christopher's looking to engage people in the Charlotte community, whether you live in one of our communities or not. So I just want to make sure you're getting that contact information, which we'll talk about. Again, we'll talk about that information at the end.
So there was another question. Does weather play a factor in when you can do this type of work?
It does. Great question. And that's what we teach you when we go into the program in depth. We teach you about weather maps. We teach you how to use certain software that's associated to it. So you understand that, and you understand it from a holistic approach. So weather does play into an important factor. But again, it's not a determination of a common denominator that can stop you from doing the work, because you can utilize this type of opportunity, as I stated before, smart jobs, internal locations. So for example, companies like Volvo, they're using drones to do transition of capturing data in their warehouses. You have other persons that are using maritime drones to do underwater welding and capture videography from there. So drones are used in so many different various scenarios. So it's not always where you have to take a drone and go fly it outside. And in terms of the weather, you also can do, I'm not sure if anyone have ever seen where drones are doing video footage of internal properties and giving you a tour of a home or a house or of a building. So you can use them. It's just depending on the type of device or the type of drone that you're using for the work you're actually trying to get involved in.
That's fantastic. All right. So is there a lot of work like this in Charlotte? I mean, are there a lot of opportunities in Charlotte?
Oh, it is.
Or do you help direct people to find where the opportunities are?
So great question, Sharon. It is a lot of work nationally. It's a lot of work locally in the North Carolina market, in the Charlotte region. Like I stated before, it's several verticals that are using drones to date: real estate, construction, inspections, energy companies. So when you look at companies across the board and abroad, you really have to identify where's that opportunity coming from. So a lot of opportunities now are creating those opportunities, meaning doing weddings, doing aerial photography of little league football games, doing stuff for athletic situations. I think I was speaking to one of your colleagues earlier, Mr. Darius, and he was talking about how you guys locally use drones to come in and do your properties, and you hire a company to do that. So it's here, and it's coming, and it's more jobs that are opening up every day. One of the things that I recently looked up, and from a prediction, they're predicting within the next 3 to 4 years, an average of 100,000 jobs being produced just within this industry alone. Now, that's specific to certain areas, but when we talk about the vertical side of it, that number is going to increase astronomically, because then you're bringing in all the other areas of industries. It's about 16 direct industries that drones apply to and can support. And if you look at that as a whole, that really is why the evolution of what's happening is transitioning so much.
Wow. There's another question here. If learning for a hobby, are there laws prohibiting just flying in certain areas?
It is a great question. So I'll say this always. As a hobbyist, you only can do what a hobbyist is allowed to do, and that's just kind of go outside and have some fun and play with the drone and so forth. But there's still the same regulations that you would have as a commercial certified pilot. So I tell persons all the time, just go ahead and get commercially certified, because you're going to have to follow the same regulations and the laws across the board. The only difference between the two is that if you charge anyone 1 penny for doing something with a commercial drone, you have to be commercial certified. And if you do that and charge someone 1 penny, 1 cent, and the Federal Aviation Administration or law enforcement come and identify you and request to have your license, and you don't have that or the copy of the paperwork, or your drone is not commercially registered, you will be fined a large dollar amount, which is not worth it, and it's 3 times more than the class cost. So I tell people all the time, hey, go ahead and get certified where you don't have to worry about it, and then you can go out here and have fun as a hobbyist, or you can go and do commercial work.
So, Christopher, can you talk a little bit more? I think you've mentioned it in a couple of your responses about this being an entrepreneurship opportunity for people. Can you talk just a little bit more about that, about maybe, and even some examples how someone can make this their own business?
Yeah, well, so I'm really going to be honest. I'm going to speak from me, and of course, this is our business. I started this business, like I stated before, in probably about 2013, and we were just doing services with drones. And so, looking at that and how to scale our business and our model, we started the training side of things, and wanted to also leverage ourselves to be a independent common denominator. So when companies are looking to start bringing in folks, we can put those persons to work, subcontract those persons, that if they have their drone license, they could be an entrepreneur, and we can subcontract work to them. But as you're stating, the entrepreneurship side is as easy as you're getting certified, getting a license, or getting a drone, and then letting persons know that you have a drone, you can do the work. But I don't want to make it a misconception. You still need to have the experience, and you still need to know how to start a business and run a business and maintain a business with a lot of the other parts behind a business. And we do offer a drone entrepreneurship starter class, where it consists of you getting a starter drone, the training to start a business related to drones, and understanding the legalities behind running a entrepreneurship and a small business using drones. Because I don't want it to be a misconception when persons think, hey, I'm trained and I'm certified, so I'm going to go out here tomorrow and start my business, go get clients. Well, have you started some marketing? Do you understand marketing? Do you understand small business of creating an LLC? Do you understand all the things that comes with the insurance associated to a drone? So you can start a business, Chris, and become an entrepreneur behind it. But I just want people to understand and know that it has to be some efforts and work behind that, but it's very obtainable and very something you can do. I've been running my business now for the last about 12 years, and we've been very successful and been able to actually create this as a business to employ persons and create expanded opportunities for other persons who came along. So it is a great opportunity to be an entrepreneur if you can actually take that on and deal with all the entrepreneurship things that come along with it.
The ups and downs, right?
Yes. And the long hours, to know that it's not a 9 to 5. I'm not checking in, I'm checking out. You are working. So, but again, it's a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
So how long does it take to get certified?
Great question, Sharon. So in theory, it takes about 30 to 40 contact hours. And when I say contact hours, that's based on in-class virtual learning and that timeline. Now, that can be delivered in 2 different models, and it's based on our partnership. It can be in a Monday through a weekday model or a weekend model, or it can be in every other day scenario. So we are very flexible. Like I stated before, we created this understanding that we have working professionals that are trying to actually take on the opportunity. And then we have static clients that have dedicated timelines that need to take on a training at a specific time. So we've made the program to meet really pretty much any demanding schedule. But 30 to 40 contact hours for our adults, and then our young adults, you're looking at about 76 contact hours.
That's awesome, Christopher. Yeah, I'm sorry, Sharon. I just want to let Christopher know that there's already someone in the chat says she's going to start the business, then hire you, Christopher, and then she can sit back and let you do the work. So
no, she said she's going to hire her nephew.
Oh, her nephew. I didn't put that.
You got to keep up. Desi is trying to hire her nephew.
Desi has a lot of information. Okay.
I'll tell you.
Desi.
If you are actually, and I'm saying, if you're already in some type of vertical industry, like the young lady's name is Desi.
Desi, yes.
Desi, and I'm not sure what her industry and her profession, but just hypothetically, just say she's a real estate agent or a real estate broker. Her nephew can get certified. Instead of outsourcing that work, she can actually now give her nephew that opportunity and then use that for a tax write-off because she's subcontracting out work that she needs for her business. So it's multiple facets that she just created another stream of income for her nephew, also save some money on her side because I'm hoping her nephew is going to give just a little bit of breaking cost. But yes, she's creating that opportunity. And so it is so many different opportunities to be associated to it. Again, and that comes with you understanding the industry from those particular different platforms. And that's also what we train. We train you once you become certified. We have opportunities that if you want to go into real estate, if you want to go into construction, if you want to go into inspection or surveying, we have specific pathways that train you in those areas. So you are now knowledgeable about those pathways, but have the skill sets to be able to go into those areas.
Well, Desi says she's in the insurance industry and telecommunications, so she's got all kinds of opportunities there. You just opened up Pandora's box for her in a good way. A Pandora's box of money, it sounds, right? So Chris or Christopher, when does our partnership start for our residents and our participants?
So we're at the very beginning stages of it. At this point, what we're wanting to do is raise awareness. We want to get the information out there through this vehicle, through some other vehicles that we're going to do. So we want families in our portfolio that think that this could be a great opportunity for them to, now they know about it. Now we want to create that interest to the point that people are contacting Christopher, telling them that they are interested. Then we're able to talk about some of the other details to ultimately get that person or persons into the training. So at this point, I cannot stress enough for people to make sure they contact Christopher Williams, let them know their interest and kind of where they are in terms of work or where they're living or what engagement they have within Livian. And then that can be the starting point to take those other steps to ultimately get people into a pilot, a training, or a pilot for us, but for Christopher is what he does and what his company is already doing.
Yeah. We have another question. Are you sharing this info with the schools, Christopher?
So that is a great question. So of course, schools have really kind of been our flagship model when we launched this in 2016, 2017. We are heavily immersed in South Carolina. So we are really pretty much based out of Columbia, South Carolina, and we've done a lot of our work there. Just recently, we started scaling the services and started going into other states and coming across, meeting with Chris, some other persons in North Carolina, of course, the Charlotte market. We've been really trying to get in front of those partnerships and those particular persons in the educational sector. It's been a little challenging, of course, because sometimes the education system in every market is different in terms of consolidation, in terms of district. And so we are trying to share it with schools. We are looking for opportunities to present this to schools. So if anyone is actually have any relationship with any school superintendents, any school administrators, my number is directly in the chat number there, 556-1533. Hey, there it goes again. Please let them know. I'll tell you, when you attach this to a young person's resume platform, they're coming out of high school with a federal certification that's globally recognized. And I'm going to say this again, globally recognized, that anywhere in the country, that young person can now go do work with a commercial autonomous device. If they want to go to a 2-year or 4-year college and major in pretty much any area of education or academics, they can attach this to their resume. So what does it do for them? It shows that they have critical thinking skills. They've been able to earn a certification at an age where you're talking about typically is not traditionally offered, and they can actually have the skill sets to be prepared for that. We just had one of our scholars in a local market that was offered a full-time opportunity after they complete their technical degree, 2-year education, $55,000 with the company. This young person has no experience in the industry, but they have the FAA 107 Part A certification. So that's just one of the many stories. So again, I say that to say it's an opportunity for everyone. 16 and older is an opportunity for you.
All right. Well, Toya, I see. I hope you got the information. We have it up there on the screen. If people want to get in contact with Christopher, it's www.AINautics.com. His number 803-556-1533. And his email is info@AINautics.com. Christopher and Chris, this has been a great conversation. As you know, we generally try to get this done in 15 minutes, and this is 25. So I know folks are interested. I want to thank everyone who's joined in and joined our conversation. Desi has asked, can we put the information in the chat? Sure, we can put the information in the chat, but we'll also put it back on the screen just for a couple more minutes. So 85, you see the number there, and we'll put it in the chat. Christopher, is there anything else that we should know? Because I think this is amazing.
No, I'll just tell persons who are on this call or who are out there listening, listen, take advantage of the opportunity. We are really right now at the tip of what's about to happen. And so if you understand this from how anything in innovation and technology, how it changes, if you're at the beginning phase, you pretty much written your own ticket. And we're at the beginning phases of this. So go do your data check, your fact check, go out there, check on corporations and companies that are actually looking to utilize drones. You will be amazed on what drones are doing. And if you just understand it from a broad scope and spectrum, you're positioning yourself to have another opportunity that can actually present you to have sustainability. And that's what I always try to tell people. Sustainability is what we're presenting.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you again. I put all the information in the chat. I want to thank everyone. Christopher, it was a pleasure meeting you. I'm going to have people calling you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.
All right.